You know, I realize if anybody's watching my videos, they don't really go far back and see any other video. They're just watching the latest video that comes out, probably, I would assume. And a lot of people don't maybe know my rules, or, I do have rules on this channel that I live by. I don't give a shit what anybody else. You can live by whatever rules you want to live by. I don't care. Let's just think of this channel as my country. And my country is run the way I want my country to run. And you're all free to be your own countries. You're free to do whatever it is you want to do in your country. But when you're in my country, you follow my rules. So my rules are, if you want to be rude, ignorant, um, you want to be offensive to me, I'll be offensive back to you. I will mirror who you are. And but if you're going to be really, really offensive, like I will be offensive as you are offensive to me, just so that you can see how offensive you are to me, and try and work through the conversation loving and peacefully. If I can't, sorry, block, delete. I don't really care about your opinion. Um, we're trying to, there's some people that are trying to create world peace. Well, when somebody's got a good plan, I'd be on board, no problem. But I'm not, I have absolutely no interest in anybody else's solution, if it doesn't mean that I agree with it. I got to kind of agree with it, got to kind of see how I benefit from it. If I don't see it, not interested. So anybody that's want to work on getting a plan, or the whole planet is working together, well, I don't think anybody's got that idea yet if they can't get me to be interested in it. Somebody that is, then they won't have a problem. But I'm having a little bit of a problem with somebody saying that I'm categorizing and I'm judging people too much, and I shouldn't do that, or using the word groups. I think that's what the problem is that I am judging a behavior of a group of people. Um, and I guess this guy's saying, well, that's not necessarily true. And it's like, wait a minute, where is it not true? And like, he's making a blanket statement then. Like, it's kind of interesting if you really look at the conversation. And first it sounded like he was offended that I was labeling people, and then all of a sudden he didn't have a problem with that, never did. But yet it seemed to be that he was having a problem about me using labeling people light workers. Yet he was the one that came to the channel, and it's odd that I'm calling this person a he when she's a she. um, that is a very interesting observation. But um, yeah, this person introduced themselves as one of the group. So I am only going to assume you have this behavior. I'm only going to make that judgment because I've observed them to have that behavior. And if this is something that's common within that group, I'm going to talk about it. Especially if they show up and have an opinion, then I will have an opinion about them. And if they're going to label them, I'll use a label, like, tell me who you want me to call you, and I'll call you it. Um, but I'll notice your behaviors. And so far, I haven't seen those behaviors be wrong. And this person was saying, well, not all of them are like that. And it's like, well, prove me wrong. What have I said about them that isn't true? And the example was they're convincing everybody to die, and it's like, well, nobody's proven me wrong there. They kind of are. I don't see anybody convincing them to live. So it's like, I'm kind of right there. Yeah, okay, it might be a little offensive if I say all workers are actually teaching people how to die and how many ways to kill yourself. That might be offensive. You might think I'm doing things maybe a little wrong, but I don't really give a shit if you think something's wrong. Because you know what? I thought there was a hell of a lot wrong with this planet and the way it's been running since the day I was born, and nobody gave a shit about how I felt. So while I'm running this country, it's run by my rules, and in my country, if you don't want to respect my point of view, I won't respect your point of view. So, and I know that I will be offending somebody, but I can only offend those who offend me. So, and if I'm talking about it, means I was kind of maybe offended or I found something interesting. But trust, if you're offended by something I said, whatever your opposing viewpoint is just as offensive to me. And um, so those are the rules. Is if light workers, if people that are religious, whatever group you want to come to my channel, come to my country and declare yourselves of whatever it is you want to be, you're welcome. Like I will give you the respect you give me. You are entitled to be and act however you want to act, just like I'm going to be entitled to act the way I'm going to act. But as soon as you're going to be um, rude, as soon as you're going to lie, as call me names, be negative anyway, non-productive basically. If you're going to come on this channel and be non-productive, sorry, you can go and visit another country because I don't really need you here. If you think I have a problem, don't really need you here. Would I be interested in how not to offend people? Yeah, I would like to know how people won't be offended when they're hearing something that offends them. I'm pretty sure the answer to how do I communicate in a way that doesn't offend other people is to get to let people have to recognize that if you got offended, it's your fault, not mine. You're only offended because you want to be offended. Um, is something possibly wrong? Yeah, it's my point. There's a lot of things wrong, but you can't have a conversation if you're rude. You can't make a point. All of these people that hate me, I mean, at the bottom line, none of them have a point. None of them can make a point. They're so friggin' full in their anger, and they can probably vent and make no points and blogs all they want. They're making no point. They might get a lot of people that are saying, we're blue, we're blue, we're blue. So what? You're blue. What point does that make? Like you can say you're right, but it doesn't mean you are right just because you say you are right. Clearly, you can't prove it. Otherwise, you'd show up. And I've had some guys that were right into the quantum physics of it all that says he could have the debate. First thing he did was insult me. It's like, how good are you if you can't even have a conversation without insulting me? If you can't be nice and pleasant when you talk to me, don't expect me to be nice and pleasant back to you. I've lived this world where people were very abusive, um, very offensive, and I just kept my mouth shut and took it and just wondered, why would they be so abusive? What would make them do the things that they're doing? And so I ended up finding out why people are doing the things they're doing. So I kind of have an understanding of that. It's causal. How I behave is causal. Something causes me to be critical. Why? Because people were criticizing me. So I'm going to criticize other people, especially when there are a group. Religious people or Bible people, it's like that's all they do is say, here, we're part of this group. In our group mentality, we think you're evil. Unless, of course, you're one of us that goes around the world saying you are evil to everybody else. So it's like, I don't want to be part of that group, but that is an observed observation. That's what they do. Um, does that mean all of them? That makes the cream of the crop show up. The best of the best showed up. When Jordan, the guy that I'm going to be working on this website with, he's a master at what it is I can't do, which is asking good questions and tracking. I need somebody that's smarter than me that can see, first of all, hear what my issues are, not people assume what my issues are. A lot of people have issues that they want me responsible for. That will piss me off. I am not responsible for your issue. I'm just going to point out your issue. We live in a world that nobody is responsible and accountable for anything. So, for those that are joining this channel, yeah, be prepared to have your thoughts stimulated. This is not going to be an easy ride. Only, I mean, you really, really have to know what love and peace is not to get blocked on this channel. And um, it's like these light workers. I mean, truly, if you look at what you really truly believe, you come on this life for a purpose, to learn something. And so you come to my channel, you listen to my words because you want to learn something. So if I offend you, that would mean the lesson showed up. um, so while you are offended, you will take the position that I'm doing something wrong to you. And it's the act of you being offended that shows you got something wrong with you that you need to fix. It has nothing to do with me. These are just words. That's it. It's just words. Something is coming from within you. How do I know that? Because I tend to be a lot more successful that when I get offended, I take responsibility for it. If I do what I just gave advice for, that if somebody offended me, why did they offend me? And guess what? The whole entire planet offended me. That was a planetary pill I had to swallow. So if anybody's got anything to be upset about me, you just got a pill to swallow that you just don't want to swallow. It's like, get a drink of water. Take the pill. I am not your problem. You are your own problem. So try and master, if anybody does have a point to make that doesn't want to, learn what it is to be loving and peaceful, because when it shows up, I can tell. Like, I'm hypersensitive. You have to be really, really peaceful and loving to be able to not get blocked on my channel. But there is some people, Isaiah for one, there is one angry person. Not sure if it's a he or a she, but been with me from the beginning and always there, and very, very, very angry person. I'm pretty sure this person would admit they're very angry and totally I don't even know why you're on my channel, because you're not really in agreement with me, um, because it's all about not hating, and you're full of hate. But um, this person has never been offended. This person, well, maybe was offended, but the way this person's carried on their point of view, their opposing viewpoints, in their anger, they've never offended me. Even if we are disagreeing about anything, I have so much respect for that person. I think this person is there to teach me something, and it is uh, whatever his lesson, her lesson is clearly going to be something that I'm going to be learning massively from, because I really watch what this person says and does. Friggin' genius. And the fact that that much anger and I haven't pissed them off yet, pissed them off enough that they've lost control and said something that made me block them. Because that really is the game, is I'll piss you off and see if you stay in the conversation. Because if you can hang into the conversation, then you're kind of learning. You're being the master of you. And that's all I'm trying to do too, is trying to have the conversations where um, I don't piss other people off, that I haven't been offended. There's nothing that offended me to even talk about that would make anybody be pissed off. But clearly, if I have something to say, it means I was offended by somebody. And when I stop being offended and start talking about, oh, this is really good, oh, this is really good, then I'm going to be making this shift. But right now, we're focused on the problem, and we need to focus on the solutions. And I'm still working on myself, so it's not like I'm perfect. So if anybody thinks that I'm going to be perfect at any of the information that I've discovered, no, no, it's sorry, I ain't gonna be perfect. Just because I've read the book doesn't, you can read that, you can get in shape, you can learn there are exercises out there, but you actually have to do the exercise to be good at it. So just because I found, oh, okay, I've seen the puzzle, I see why people are doing what they're doing, and I see, oh, what it'll take for us to do something completely different. Just because I know it doesn't mean that I'm going to be perfect at that right away. I need practice. So Anyways, that's my rule. This is my country. And you want to be rude? Ba-boom, gone. And you didn't hurt my feelings. I know you're in your lesson, and you can go learn your lesson and hate me all you want. I really don't care. I got nothing better to do. The planet's falling apart. What you gonna do? Save it whatever way you can. Peace out.